Okay, so hello to all audience of Métal Zone radio show on Oxygène Radio. We are at the MUSCADEATH Festival. This is a 22 edition in VALLET, France. So we are with one member from a band called Dark Funeral. So first of all, thanks for taking time to answer some questions for our radio. Can you first introduce to our audience?
I'm Lord AHRIMAN, guitar player and founder of the band Dark Funeral.
Okay, so welcome to the show and to the festival. So, to mark the band's 13th anniversary, you decided to re-record your eponymous album, Dark Funeral, of course, released in 1994. What emotion and memories surface as you revisit these legendary songs, and how does it feel to give them a modern update for both long-time fans and new listeners, of course?
Well, it's like, you know, for me, everything I do, I always feel like, when I've done it, I feel like I can always do it better. But certain stuff, you know, it's good if they stay in the past and I move on with other stuff. But this time there were so many reasons we wanted to do this. And obviously, you know, going back 30 years, you know, trying to, you know, bring out those, you know, the good memories from that time and how everything started, you know, where you are now, you know, how, you know, things were so much different 30 years ago than it is today. The whole scene has changed, and, you know, so it was interesting, you know, to have a little bit flashback, you know, when you were sitting there in the rehearsal room, you know, with your pillow and sleeping bag because you slept on the floor over the weekends, you know, and just played guitar, you know, those kind of things. And yeah, it was cool, but of course there was a lot of bullshit going on at that time too that I tried to, you know, don't dig too much into. It's in the past, but yeah, and then when you start, I mean, we've been playing the songs live over the years, so that's nothing new. But I haven't really listened to the original recording in a long time. Yeah, so we all start analyzing it and start, you know, going into the songs in depth. What we did, you know, with them 30 years ago, what we could do without, you know, to improve them without, you know, taking away too much of you know, of the original feeling. So we talked a lot about it, and I think everybody did their homework, you know, listening to the songs, came with input, how we could find this balance. Of course, the original recording is genuine and you know, classic in its own way. So this is not trying to, you know, make something better than or something. Just, you know,
not the goal.
No, that was not the goal. This was like, you know, binding the past with the present together. You know, there's lots of newer fans. You know, 30 years. There's lots of new generation into the band. And also into this music style. So, and many of the younger fans have no idea what we were doing, you know, in the early days. So this was a way, you know, to show them this is where we're coming from and this is where we are now. When you discovered us, you know, a little bit history lesson for everybody, and also, you know, a way for our, you know, old diehard fans to relive those old good memories, you know, when they first discovered us and things like that. So, you know, when you see people complaining, they totally miss the whole point. And I feel like, is this what the scene have become? Fucking a bunch of crybabies, fucking all over the place. You know, instead of trying to understand why this was done, you know. Of course, everybody doesn't have to like it. Some people like the original, some like the new version, but that's not the point. You know, this was a complete different thing, and I think we managed to get a really good balance, and we brought up a lot of stuff that kind of disappeared in the mix on the original recording. I felt like, okay, people might like, oh, is this something new to the songs? You know, when they hear the new stuff. But I was like, they were there originally. They're low in the mix. There was a reason why maybe they are low in the mix. But I felt like they were still there. So maybe we, you know, give them a little bit more identity this time. that kind of stuff. So I think, I'm really satisfied myself, and it was a great experience. I'm ready to move on,
Yeah. Okay.
to the next chapter in life.
Yeah, to the next chapter in life. Yeah.
The new gate.
Yeah, of course. This is life. So, your latest album, We Are Apocalypse, was released on March 22. We are on September 24. Are you planning to write a new album soon?
I already start writing.
Okay.
But it's been crazy busy schedule, so I haven't had so much time to, actually, get the time you need to, get into this zone you want to be in when you write. But I have lots of stuff written and lots of cool ideas. Now we're gonna, start touring, and we're gonna be touring a lot. We got 1.5 months in the US and then another month in Europe, and there's even more stuff planned after that. So
not so much time to write compose.
No, well, I have some idea. I mean, we need to have a quick break anyway. We can't just keep on touring. So we haven't really discussed it. Everybody said, like, after the European tour, maybe we need a quick break from things. So we'll see. I guess we're going to talk about it. I would personally maybe have like 2 or 3 months off to first recharge after all the touring, and then get back into, get a longer period when I can focus on the songwriting. Because as I said, I have lots of good stuff written. I just need time to keep on working on it. And when you have 1 or 2 days, in a week or something, you can't really do much like that. At least not me. I'm not that kind of songwriter. So we'll see. But as I said, I can't wait to get new songs together.
Okay, we can wait too, and your fans, of course. So yes, you were talking about just here now. You're starting a US tour with War in the fall. How is it going, and what's your view on the touring industry at the moment? Because before, is there for you an evolution? Is it the same that 13 years ago? Not at all.
No, actually, we talked about this earlier today.
Okay.
The first US tour we did, we were driving in a van, we were sleeping, taking turns sleeping on the floor and on the van and on the seats, because there was not enough space. And then you had the trailer with all the gear. In the US, the distance between the shows are fucking long. So it was long drives every time after the shows. So once in a while you had time to, you had a certain hour drive, you knew that. And sometimes we're like, okay, we got 3 hours, we can take you into a motel, try to sleep 2 of them maybe. And then, you got to be back on the road to be able to get to the next venue. So it was really rough.
Very rough and tired.
Yeah, but, that's... I saw a really interesting documentary made by Dave Grohl a couple of weeks ago, and his idea to put it together, which turned into a little bit different things, was all of us came from the same, whether you're a arena big band or not, we all started in the fucking van with the trailer.
Yes.
All of us did.
Yes.
So that's a common ground, and that was, something he wanted to, do this documentary about. But then it turned into a little bit different. Why are we even fucking putting ourselves through this, crazy stuff all the time? But it was cool to watch it, and it gave me lots of, flashbacks, how it started. Now we're fortunate, I've grown as a band, so we have a little bit more luxury when we're touring. I mean, it's not luxury, but problem is, it's still the same distance between the cities and the venues. So it doesn't matter, if you go in a little bit better bus or not. It's it's still the same distance.
Yeah.
So some stuff get easier, some are still the same. So, but this is what we do, and we have a passion for it, and and otherwise I wouldn't be doing this for over 30 years now, because it's a rough life. But what else would I do? You know.
Yeah, it's your life.
Yeah, exactly.
And many people and many bands, of course. What is the secret to keeping a band like Dark Funeral alive for 30 years? And can you highlight one pivotal decision that you feel has significantly contributed to Dark Funeral's enduring presence in the metal scene?
Well, since I'm, you know, the driving force behind everything, as long as I feel like I have inspiration and I'm never satisfied. If I get satisfied, I would quit. But I always, you know, for every new door that open up and I get through that door, a new world open up. I don't know, I gotta get through this world and I gotta do things better. And just, you know, I have this, I mean, it's just, it's not, you know, my will to become a big, you know, arena star or whatever. It's just, I have this driving force to better everything I do, to improve everything I do when it comes to the music, songwriting, the playing. I guess I will never get better. I will never be satisfied with that anyway. But also, you know, black metal is really, you know, visual kind of music form. And the more money comes in, you know, that gives me another, you know, dimension to bring another world out to the crowd. So this, I just feel like I can't see an end.
Yeah, it's
on
never
that.
ending.
Exactly, it's like a never-ending story that I just want to keep on building on. I mean, some people get, I don't know, they feel like, oh, I'm old enough, I gotta quit this and stuff like that. I never, you know, even if my arm is all fucked up,
But
fuck it, I'm here, I'm gonna fucking nail it on stage anyway.
Yeah.
I just, when I went to my doctor last week, I felt like I can't remember the last time I was in good physical shape on a tour, because the previous tours I did, I had a hernia, so I was in pain because of the hernia. Then I did a surgery between the tours, and I had to go on stage, right? You know, I was on stage, was it 10 days after the surgery? No, 3 weeks after surgery. And then, you know, I could hardly move. So I was like, you know, just trying to get through the show. And then it happened twice. I got 2 hernias, 2 surgeries, and the second surgery was bigger than the first one. It's like, I feel like I've been on rehab while I've been on tour for the past fucking 3 years, but I still do it. I would never cancel it if I didn't really have to.
That's cool.
So, but yeah.
Okay, thank you, and that's very cool. The engine is here. The brain is the engine.
Yeah.
You can be heard somewhere too, but if you get that you get everything. As pioneers, you are one of the pioneers of the black metal scene. Dark Funeral has undoubtedly inspired countless aspiring musicians and bands. What advice would you give to emerging artists looking to make their mark in the world of extreme metal scene?
Well, just have passion and work hard, really fucking hard, and believe in yourself and do your thing. Don't look at so much what other bands are doing. You know, do what you do and
Believe in what you do.
yeah, and if it's meant to be, you know, that other people likes what you're doing, then go with the train. But it's like, for me, I never had plans to do this. It just happened, and then I just went with it. You know, as I said, went with the train, and then I'm still here. But I think, you know, the whole music scene is so much different nowadays. The most of the genres are already here. They didn't exist when we started. We had to kind of invent it. Now people are kind of, you know, lots of bands write to me and they're kind of stuck in some made-up rules that I can't understand, because that was the whole thing with black metal. We do things our fucking way and we break the rules. And also with the music writing, of course, there's some common ground that that makes it black metal, but still. So yeah, sometimes I feel like people are limiting themselves a little bit too much instead of just but go with the inner freedom of creating what they like, and
don't following the trends.
exactly, and I think that's one thing we just done things our way, and we get both praise and we get lots of hate for it too, but I mean, that's life. Everybody, I'm not here to please everybody. I will still keep on doing what I do. And I mean, sometimes I feel like people are paying too much attention on things they don't like. I don't pay attention on things I don't like. Why would I? I have more important things to do. So it's like, it's for me. It's I don't understand. Just believe in yourself and do your own thing and see where it takes you.
That's a good advice. Back in the past, when you were a child or teenager, can you tell us in which musical environment did you grow up, and does it affect in a way the music that you are playing now for many years?
Well, I grew up in the north part of Sweden, and I was more or less the only one into this extreme kind of music. But I met a guy, I moved to a new neighborhood, and there were some guitar players, really talented guitar players, some of them very famous nowadays in Sweden. But one of the guys, so we started playing guitar. He was really, he was sitting, with a vinyl player, playing after every Metallica record, Megadeth record, Exodus record, Creator. He was playing after the records, from that time. And we're like, we got to start a band. As we started my first band called Satan's Disciple. He wasn't really into that super extreme that I wanted to do, but he was still, interesting enough to be in the band. So it was me and the vocalist Mika at that time who were into the darker side of things. So that's why we, went with a satanic theme right away, because that was where our heart were. So that's where I started, and then, at that time, you had the thrash metal scene, the speed metal scene, and then the grindcore came, and I love that. I still love that kind of music, but that's not where my heart is when I want to create. So, and there was not too many bands, who was doing what I wanted to do. So eventually, I moved to Stockholm and tried to start up this band. It took about 3 years, and I just came to a point. I got to do something more darker and extreme than everybody else are doing, and there you go.
Okay.
Because I can't have influences from other bands, because there was no other band who were doing what we were doing. So that's what I mean with freedom. You gotta, we came from a scene when we had to invent it ourselves. That's why I don't understand why people get stuck in some weird things these days. That's not where the black metal scene come from.
I understand. Okay, thank you very much, because I think you got others interviewed. This was Dark Funeral at the MUSCADEATH Festival 22 edition. Thank you very much. Wish you a lot of good things for you, for your family, for the band. And as I say always at the end of the interview, don't forget to laugh every day. It's important to laugh every day. Thank you. Bye-bye.